For 53 seasons, Texas Country Reporter has told the stories of ordinary Texans doing extraordinary things. And for over 30 of those years, we've started each episode here on the Regency Bridge, a place that means a lot to this show, both metaphorically and visually. But last season, my first, we did something that we've never really done before. When the news of all of the devastation and flooding in Kerr County made it to us, we felt compelled to go and report on it in the way that our show does, which is to say, with the same level of concern and consideration that we might share the news of the passing of a loved one that meant a lot to me personally. Now, it's not to say that TCR shies away from tough subjects or things that might make us sad. It's quite the opposite. It's more to say that our show's not really a breaking news organization. We tell stories that typically take weeks, sometimes months to develop. But the response from you, our audience, was incredible. You shared a deep appreciation for the way we handled it and the opportunity to connect with all of your fellow Texans. And you wanted to share in their grief and use that understanding to show up for them, both spiritually and certainly in person. And that highlighted something for me that I've always known about this show that I want to highlight for you, finally verbalize for myself, which is that there are a lot of places that you can get your news, and certainly plenty of other shows from which you can learn about Texas. But the thing that no other show has really ever figured out, that I think TCR does better than anybody else, is show you how it feels to be Texan. And we do that by really having a genuine interest in the people that we interview and spending a lot of time with them. And remembering in every story that I've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. I'm gonna listen more than I speak. And we love to revel in all of this incredible beauty, and certainly also deeply understand the anguish that our neighbors can go through. And that puts us in a position to be the best looking show on TV, and certainly gives us a leg up on an opportunity to highlight all the amazing ways that our neighbors and fellow Texans rise to the occasion over and over. So yes, there's plenty of TV out there, but TCR is not going to help you feel how it feels to be Texan simply by driving across this bridge in the intro of our show. We're going to build bridges between you, our audience, and the people that we meet along the way with all of their incredible stories that we find every week. And so, if you're the type of audience that I believe you are, who deeply wants to understand their neighbors and what it means to be Texan, you're hopping in the right car. And I look forward to this, season 54, my second as host, in which we'll continue on this journey down the back roads of Texas in search of many more ordinary Texans doing extraordinary things just like these.
Now this is what celery is supposed to taste like. Watch, it'll kick you.
Still there, you talk about.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
They're hot.
Heck yeah.
So, yeah. In some ways that feels right.
Yeah.
So why don't you hop in, travel with me. My name is JB Sauceda, and this is Texas Country Reporter. If you want to see more stories from the back roads of Texas, hit that subscribe button. And also, make sure to give us a follow on Instagram and Facebook, where you'll see plenty more ordinary Texans doing extraordinary things.
Since I was a little kid, I've always loved animals. I'm not really sure exactly where it came from because my family doesn't own a farm. They just have always had dogs and cats. But since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to own a horse. I've always wanted to have a farm. And I've always loved reptiles and little critters. So just since day one, I've always loved animals. Are you hungry? Are you hungry, man?
Like many kids, Aleah Lynn once dreamed of having a farm filled with all kinds of animals and crops. But unlike most people, she was able to turn that childhood dream into a reality by cobbling together an unusual cast of critters in Tuscola.
There's a lot. There's a lot. It's a long list. Well, I guess I'm looking at some of my birds, so I could start there. I have a long list of poultry. I have my geese, my turkeys, peacocks, as you can hear. My turkey Red, he's a star on my videos. People love him because he always gobbles when you gobble at him or talk to him. He's very personable and friendly. I have a lot of chickens, ducks, pigeons, and then I have two really big birds that are my emus, and I just got them like a year ago, and they're my big cuddle birds. I love them so much. And then I have deer, 3 fallow deer, and then I have goats. Oh yeah, a whole building full of reptiles that I've got to show you still. And then my Patagonian cavies, they are some of my most special critters too. They're very sweet and personable. Amara, Patty, and Roger. I have a good old farm dog. Her name's Fraulein, and she's always walking around guarding the farm. And I have 2 house dogs, and then I have 3 cats. So quite a list. Here, this is Guggenheimer.
Aleah's farm is far more than a home for the deer and the turkeys to roam. It's a way for her to educate, inspire a new generation of homesteaders and animal lovers alike. With over 1 million subscribers on her YouTube channel, CatAleah, she's able to offer a behind-the-scenes look at life on the farm, teaching the importance of understanding and caring for these uncommon creatures.
People come visit because he's still learning about. I've worked really hard to grow my platform. Before I lived here, I started doing YouTube when I was a little kid, actually. I was like, I want to be a YouTuber when I was like 5, and I'd like film videos of my cats and stuff. Around when I moved in here, it started to actually be able to financially support me. But I'm kind of happy with what I have right now and keeping it at this, because I actually want to open my farm up for tours, hopefully, in the next year or so. Working on, going to get my USDA license and all the, insurance and all that stuff I need, and then hopefully have people out here to meet the animals. Look what deer. I really see a value in teaching empathy for things that you don't understand. So, snakes for one, and most reptiles, people are like, whoa, they don't like them. So I feel like empathy for animals inspires empathy for other people too. So it kind of all comes full circle, and I think it's really important.
As Aleah poured her heart into her videos, she realized her work wasn't just about teaching others, it was about discovering who she was as well. From the daily challenges of farm life to the constant hustle of growing an online community, each experience has pushed her to grow in ways she never anticipated.
I've struggled my adulthood and as a teen. I had severe crippling anxiety in school. I couldn't barely look at anyone without my face turning red. I couldn't talk to people. It was very bad. Through most of my adulthood too, I struggled with that. And I was diagnosed with ADHD and autism like 4 years ago. So all that kind of combined has, helped me realize that even though I do have those things that I struggle with, it doesn't keep me from being able to do what I want to do. In fact, I maybe could use that strong empathy and feelings that I have to help me with my animals. And some days it was really hard to get out of bed for a long time, and having the animals, I had to get up anyways. I had to go take care of them. It kept me going, and having them, knowing that they're relying on me, was really important. So they've been absolutely crucial to my life and development as a person. Come here. Oh, good girl. Good.
Through all the trials and tribulations of single-handedly running a farm while also sharing every step of the journey online, Aleah has gained a deeper understanding of herself and the many animals that depend on her for survival. Life on the farm is anything but easy, as most will say, but for Aleah Lynn, there's no other life she'd rather live.
I love being woken up at 6 a.m. by that peacock right outside my window. That's one of the best things, no. Honestly, just, it's kind of a feeling that it's hard to explain, but I think most people will get it because I think most people love animals to some degree, but it's that bond you have with your dog that you love, you know. I have that with like all of them, even if I know like that one yelling over there probably he doesn't understand, but he knows me and he loves me in his own way, and that's just like the most validating feeling for me, I guess. I just get so much happiness out of being around them. I'll sit outside with them and just watch them and feed them, and yeah, it just makes me so happy. And then also knowing that I'm like working towards being more self-sufficient by doing this, it just feels like a win-win in every way, so yeah.
If you listen closely, there's something you'll hear in Gause, Texas that you don't hear very many places anymore, and that's quiet. There are no Starbucks, you can't go to the movie theater, and the train hasn't stopped here since the old depot shut down. There's a modest bit of magic in this kind of life, where tall tales are told on front porches, and people have spent generations gathering at a small grocery store for a simple cup of coffee.
So for years, when I first started working here, I would see my grandpa made a pot of coffee. It's the first thing he did every morning. And we had a little jar that sat on top of the microwave over there. It was for coffee, 50 cents for a cup of coffee. Nobody ever paid. So I asked my grandma one day, it's like, why do we keep making it? Nobody pays for it. Like, she said a pot of coffee a day was our donation to the town. So people still come in and don't pay for coffee, and that's our, and it's worth the relationships. I got 8 guys in here sharing stories, and so it's worth a pot of coffee.
With aisles just wide enough for 2 people to squeeze by one another, a rusted sign out front with 1967 handwritten on it, Coats grocery store has been a fixture in this town for as long as the locals can remember. And according to Kane Coats, it's been around for even longer than that.
So my great-grandfather's dad started a business here in the year 1900. I'm not sure at what point my great-grandfather took it over from him, but he ran it until 67, and that's when my grandparents took over.
Wait, so your great-great-grandfather started something here?
The year 1900, yeah. They had a small general store here.
Wow.
My great-grandfather took it over from him, and then my grandparents eventually moved back and bought it from them. So
That's incredible. I mean, this has to be one of the longest running businesses around in Texas.
It's been like a staple of the community. There's been a lot of businesses over the years in Gause come and go. This strip used to be, all businesses. And just over the years, everything, people die off, family doesn't want to keep going. And Coats Grocery's been the only thing that's really been here and open for ever, basically.
Over the years, Coats has become known as the one-stop shop for all your small town needs. Medium bipin lamp holders and pre-molded catfish bait sit just a few aisles over from Vienna sausages and Keebler Sandies. If you need it, you'll probably find it here. And if that's not enough to get you in the door, the sandwiches and burgers Kane's whipping up will certainly do the trick. What does y'all's menu look like throughout the week?
Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, rain, sleet, or snow for the last 50 years has been burgers. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll do grilled chicken sandwiches or turkey bacon clubs. We're kind of experimenting with the menu right now, seeing what people like and what they don't like.
Of the things that you cook, what's your favorite to serve to people?
Burgers, that's my favorite thing to cook. It's what I think I do the best. And probably that or the turkey bacon clubs. Those are really good sandwiches too.
Yeah.
Anything with bacon.
Yeah. We've got to admit, Coats might have just been one of the best burgers we've ever tried. A clear sign that Kane is succeeding at keeping the traditions alive and well here.
578.
And together with his cousin Philip, a host of aunts and uncles, they've managed to preserve the legacy of this small, family-run grocery store.
10 o'clock.
I'm earlier than I usually am.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'm gonna stop worrying.
Philip, I do this every day.
I'm gonna stop worrying.
You just worry about yourself.
I'll let you have it.
There's this kind of saying that, first generation starts a business, second runs it, and the third kind of runs it into the ground. And that is clearly not what's happening here. I mean, why were you so motivated to take this thing over?
That was definitely a huge fear, the thought of this business being in my family for so long and then us being the ones to lose it. I still am afraid of that. And it's such a small knit community. Everybody knows each other. You don't want to be the one that's like, oh yeah, they took over and ran their grandparents' business straight into the ground.
What do you think it is about you and your cousin that is unique in this way that it was so important to keep it going?
I don't know. So after my grandparents passed away, we were very close. They were my best grandparents in the world. Very close. After they passed away, I don't know. He called me the night after my grandma died and was like, we got to do something, you know what I mean? And it's funny because, 2 hours before that, I was laying in bed just dreading the idea that, I might not be able to come to Coats Grocery ever again. So as soon as he calls me, I was like, yeah, no, I'm in 100%.
What happened to him?
So my grandfather passed away first. He had a stroke and then died from complications. And then almost calendar year later, my grandmother had a massive stroke sitting at home and passed away. But my grandmother was the one I really had the close relationship with. I mean, she was almost like a second mom. I saw her as much as my mom, when I was a kid. But it was a very special relationship. Losing both of them, yeah, it was very hard. I think a lot of the family was worried too. They were like the rocks of our family. It's like, no matter what problems, it's like Granny and Papa always brought everybody back together. So I think people were a little bit worried that maybe every Sunday since I was a kid, you go to my grandparents' house, there'd be 30 cars outside. There's 40 people inside. Everybody's eating. We ate lunch together every Sunday. Christmas, Thanksgiving, everybody always got together at Granny and Papa's house. And so I think there was some fear that maybe that would go away too. But I think everybody's trying very hard to keep all that going.
If your grandmother was sitting right here, what would you tell her?
That's tough. Probably the only thing that I would tell her is that I'm good and I'm happy.
Are you proud?
Yes, very.
Of her?
Proud of her, proud of the legacy they left, and proud of being able to be a part of it now, a real part.
Because then whatever we get, we're going to use back here for
That's fair, and balls in the hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna go stick those in the bin for me. Thank you.
From the weathered bench out front where old men solve the world's problems to the dust-covered soda bottles atop the shelves, not much has changed here over the years. Like a time capsule sealed up long ago, it's become not just an ode to a bygone era, but a reflection of one family's dedication to this tiny town. And Kane Coats says there's nothing else that could make him happier.
Honestly, I don't have any negative feelings about it. The prospect of me spending the next 40 years in here with the people I do every day, it makes me happy. It genuinely makes me happy.
I was sitting on the porch. I was having my Dr. Pepper and just kind of watching stuff pass by. There's so many cars that drive by every day. Most of them, like myself, admittedly, drive by and kind of don't know anything about this space. What do you wish that every single one of those cars who drives by and doesn't stop knew about Coats Grocery?
My grandmother was such a unique woman. I wish more people had the opportunity to sit and talk to her. She was so personable and could carry on a conversation for forever, but also could tell like when you didn't want to talk, so she wouldn't verbally waterboard you. She was, I don't know, she was a very special woman. And because other than that, I think our burgers are very good, but what do we offer that nobody else offers? It's the relationship,
This season, we've got many more backroads to explore and stories to look forward to. People from all walks of life in every corner of the state. We're putting a lot of miles on the TCR flag and look forward to having you continue to hop in and travel with us. I look forward to next week when we continue on this journey down the back roads of Texas. My name is JB Sauceda, and this is Texas Country Reporter. Adios.